everyone, welcome to my channel. Welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be a foundation review and wear test. So I have the Eldridge. This is the enhancing tint, her version of a skin tint. So I'm really excited to be trying this out today. In my foundation reviews, I'm going to show you myself applying this foundation, kind of just my first impressions. I do a check-in outside around the 4-hour mark, insert in some swatches, and then come back at the end of the night, the end of my day, and give my overall final thoughts. So if that sounds good to you, if you like foundation videos, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't yet. But with all that, I'm gonna pull you in closer and we're just gonna get to testing this skin tint. All right, so if you're new to my foundation videos, for my wear test, I don't put any kind of primer on. I just have my skincare and sunscreen, which is actually what Eldridge says is best in her video. I did watch her video to just make sure that I was doing this the optimal way and applying it, using it exactly how she intended. So she says to go in with just your normal skincare. This is supposed to be for all skin types, ultra lightweight, and she does clarify that this is not a sheer no coverage. It's supposed to give a little bit of coverage, but it is a skin tint. I'm just gonna get started while I talk here. This is what the box looks like. It does have your standard 1 fluid ounce. Retails for $49 and comes in 18 shades, which I don't think is terrible. I picked up the shade T4, which I'm a little bit nervous about. I'm gonna be honest. Here's the bottle, because I saw Eldridge said she can wear anything from a T6 to a T8. And I feel like I'm about her skin tone. My sunscreen does leave a white cast and my face is a little bit whiter than my body. So I'm just gonna test out T4, see what we think. It does say on the bottle to shake it very, very well because it has 78% skincare. And then the other, what is that, 22% is the blurring pigments. So a lot of skincare and then blurring pigments to blur the skin. Ultra lightweight. I'm just gonna keep shaking this. And let's crack into it. So it does come in like this dropper style, and it has this flat edge that I just wanted to point out because she kind of made a point of that. I believe it's to lay it flat. Sorry, it kind of looks awkward on the camera here, but so you can like lay it flat. Her other foundation, I believe that was like a call out from a lot of people, is you couldn't lay it down. It had a special stand for it. So she says to go in with 2 drops, 1, 2, oop, that was 3. And then spread it around your face, use your fingers to blend. Now, as far as my skin and what I like in a foundation, I have normal leaning dry skin. I would say I have pretty decent skin. I mean, I do have some spots here and there, but for the most part, pretty normal, blemish free. And I prefer typically like a light medium is fine coverage. I'm fine with a light coverage like this, which is why I opted to get it. And I like a natural finish. I don't want to say I like too much of a matte finish, but I definitely don't like a greasy finish. If anything, I would rather look more matte than overly greasy. Make sure I get around my nose here. And I mean, it definitely added some coverage. At first, it didn't seem like it, but as I keep blending, I feel like it does. I do think it's a little bit light for me. I can probably get away with it after putting on the rest of my products. I have a little bit more left on my hand here, so I'm just gonna kind of keep blending. I think this was a really good launch from her because she does have her medium coverage foundation, which I haven't tried. If you want to see a review on that one as well, let me know. I have been wanting to purchase it. I just haven't gotten around to it. So I'm kind of just building it up where I want. And it looks like a skin tint. It does feel really nice on the skin. It does feel like skincare, very slippy, so you would think 2 to 3 drops isn't going to be enough, but it has some spread to it. I still think my face looks especially on camera. In person, less so. It matches a lot better in person. But if I really like this, I would maybe consider picking up a darker shade so I have it in summertime. Let's see. One of my main concerns is just enlarged pores on my cheeks, and it does actually look very blurring. So I will agree that it has like blurring pigments. I don't know what that means, but you can see here, like there's a little spot that I have, and it didn't give it that much coverage on top, but I'm gonna go in with a concealer and see how that works. This is how it's looking so far though, pretty natural. I think exactly what I was expecting. I'm gonna go apply the rest of my products, kind of let this sit in, and depending on what I think the foundation's gonna do will kind of alter how I apply the rest of my makeup. So I do think I want to keep this very light. I don't wanna go in with like a heavy eye look or anything since this is a lighter coverage foundation. So I will let you know all the products that I use, but let me apply and see how this looks in about 10 minutes. Rest of my makeup is on. So like I said, I was gonna go really, really light. I did add my Givenchy concealer under my eyes because that is my most lightweight hydrating concealer. It seemed like it would fit with this skin tint the most. I opted for powder products. All the details are listed down in the description box below. And I just use bronzer and highlight for my eyeshadow with brown mascara to really just pull it all together. So it's looking good. It definitely looks lightweight, very, very lightweight, more than I'm used to. I wish maybe I had spot concealed around my nose a little bit, but that's just personal preference. It's giving decent coverage though. And for a skin tint, I'm not upset. It's for sure not sheer. Like you can see something on the skin. It looks very natural, like you're not wearing anything, but I can tell from my skin to what's on my skin that it is blurring quite a bit actually. So I'm not upset with this. Wish I had gotten like a shade up, but that's okay. That's more on me than on the foundation. But now I'm gonna go about the rest of my day. I have a lot of errands to do, so I will check in with you in about 4 hours outside in natural daylight. It's been 4 hours now. I'm outside in natural daylight with my sweatshirt on because if it's not 90 degrees outside, I am cold. But this is what the skin tint's looking like. I have to say I'm pretty impressed. It really just looks like my skin but better, like just my enhanced skin. It looks very natural. I am getting a little bit oily on my chin, on my forehead, just my T-zone area, which is pretty typical for me. It just looks like I've been wearing foundation for a little while, but the lightest weight foundation, it feels like I'm wearing nothing on the skin, honestly. I think this is a really, really nice lightweight, light coverage option. I'm happy with how this is looking so far. It's exceeding my expectations for what I wanted, especially in such light coverage. But, you know, there's not much else to report on. My pores still look pretty blurred. I'm happy with like my complexion products where they are, other than just like a little bit of oil, which is fine. It hasn't moved at all, which I'm just surprised. I'm hoping that this basically just wears down naturally by the end of the night and I just looks like I've had a full day, but we're gonna wait and see. I'm just gonna insert in some swatches now, comparing this skin tint to some others in my collection in case you're trying to find your shade. After that though, I'm gonna continue on the rest of my day and I will see you in another 4 or 5 hours. It's now the end of the day. It's been actually almost 12 hours, so I've really given this the wear test. And, you know, it's mostly faded off. It's a skin tint. That's basically what I expected. I'm going to try to zoom in just a little bit. I'm looking pretty oily, especially on my cheeks here, on my chin. Even though I powdered my chin and my T-zone, still pretty oily and more oily than if I was wearing no makeup. So I can tell that it's the skin tint that's contributing to my oils coming out. It's okay for having 0 touch-ups. I'm not upset. I expected it to kind of be a little bit oilier than maybe I would want. I think just touching it up would be fine. In the future, I might try to powder just a little bit more than I did today. I always just test out the foundations multiple times and come back and do a roundup of some foundations I did first impressions on. So make sure you're subscribed for that. But afterwards, you know, I'm pretty happy with this foundation, this skin tint. It is in my collection, I think, as far as what I have, the lightest coverage skin tint that I have. I have a few skin tints, but this really is a sheer to light coverage. It's not sheer where it provides basically nothing. There is a coverage and a luminosity to the skin. It really is just my definition of a skin tint. I think Lisa Eldridge did a really great job. Something I appreciate about her overall, because I love her branding and she's so articulate and she seems so intentional with her products. Everything she comes out with has a reason and she's always explaining the reasoning down to the packaging, like her inspiration for having it like this. Is this my favorite, like kind of pebble packaging? No, but I can appreciate her inspiration behind it. I like that it's a plastic bottle for being this type, because for this product, I think plastic is better than glass. I know her first foundation is a glass bottle, which makes more sense since it's more of a medium coverage. This you can easily take on the go, apply, retouch, etc. during the day. And I'm really happy that I tried this. It makes me want to try the foundation now, of course. So I'll kind of give that a think and see if I want to purchase it. Let me know down below if you recommend it or if you're interested on seeing my review. But after that, like, sometimes the shorter videos mean that I liked the foundation more because it did everything that it should have done. It's not long wearing, it definitely faded, but it doesn't look bad. Mostly just, you know, it rubbed off around my glasses, specifically where I have that spot, of course, but it doesn't claim to be transfer proof because I'm assuming the skincare ingredients. So I would imagine it to rub off where my glasses are just kind of constantly sitting. So that doesn't bother me at all because they don't claim to be transfer proof or anything like that. So as long as the foundation's doing what it claims, I won't be mad at it. As far as like my usage in the future, I actually think that I'll use this more than I thought. I was kind of thinking this was going to be like the Beauty Blender Bounce Skin Tint. That's one of my favorite foundations. It's very light coverage. It's maybe not a skin tint per se. Now, after having tried this, that's maybe more of a foundation. And I thought it was going to be more like that, but it's a lot different. In just the simplest terms, it just makes your skin look like your skin, but better. It blurs, it provides some luminosity, not too much. I mean, by the end of the day, you're definitely glowy, but it's not too much where you look greasy at first. You can powder. It worked fine with the powder. It didn't break apart on my chin where I did apply powder, so I would think it plays well with powder. And I think that I will use this on my lighter coverage days. It will take you a while to go through this if you're only using 2 to 3 drops, it being 1 fluid ounce. So I think even though it's $49, you will just get some time with this foundation. It won't go through super quickly. You won't have to use a bunch of it in order to get the look that you're wanting. Other than that though, I'm just gonna wrap this up. I'm not gonna have it be too long and keep going on and on. So I hope you found this wear test helpful. The swatches were helpful. This is where I'm gonna leave you all though. I hope you're having a great one and I will see you in my next video. Bye everyone.